Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll talk men's basketball. We'll also check in with Bulldog hockey and women's basketball with all three teams at home here this coming week. And we'll start first with men's basketball, and joined by head coach Andy Bronkema. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, hard to believe we're into the month of February now, but a lot still on the line here for your team heading into the final month here of the regular season.
Yep, everything we wanted to do at the beginning is still available, so we're charging forward, trying to get it.
Obviously, your team had been playing some great basketball going into this past road trip this past weekend. Got a split on the road, which is kind of what you needed to do, or what you hope to do, at least on the road.
Yeah, you try to split on the road, protect home court, but you know, we're kind of at the point in the season where, you know, if we're not pretenders, then we're going to have to start sweeping some of these road trips. And you know, we had a golden opportunity, and you know, just got outcompeted and beat up a little bit at Northwood. So credit to them.
As we go to some of the highlights, we'll start with Thursday's game against Saginaw Valley, and had a fantastic game. Really rolled on Thursday night over the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, we just played really well, and we had a streak of games that we played extremely focused in. The guys were really tuned into the game plan. They weren't out of position a lot. A little over and back there on the jump ball. Luckily, that didn't get called. But we're just real focused. Shots were falling in the second half, and you know, I was happy that we met Saginaw's physicality. They're a very physical team, and when you look at Saginaw, they're young and talented, and a couple of the top scorers in the league that are, you know, underclassmen. Will be dealing with them for a while. But just if I could sum up the last, you know, before the Northwood game, sum it up with saying our guys have just been laser focused. I mean, they've been into the game plan. You look at the high-low there, something we worked on. You know, Marquise is battling down there, and you know, we're playing real well.
Obviously, got some great contributions really in this game up and down the lineup. Mason Pline off the bench had a nice ball game for you.
Yeah, you know, that's just the development that you just bank on, really. I mean, you just put everything you have into it, and you know that these young men are talented, and you stick with them. And Mason stepped up and had a huge game, and you know, the guys believed in him, and because his first shift wasn't incredibly great as far as focus and in position, and you know, the guys encouraged him. He got back in there and had a huge game for us, and you know, I'm really not that surprised. You know, by the numbers, Mason is having one of the best true freshman years out of any Bulldog that's come along.
Obviously, you had the lead at halftime, and then this first 5 minutes of the second half, really important. Got off to a big lead here early in the second half.
Big lead, and we just saw that last play where Mason drained a three, but then the next play he did one more pass, and that's got to be the best play in basketball when you see that guy give up a good shot for a great one. And when we can get that kind of stuff rolling, you know, it's just real encouraging, and that's what we're preaching. So we'll just try to keep that up.
92-70 the final score. Your guys really have shared the ball well over the past 4 or 5 ball games, and certainly in this contest took care of the ball well.
Yeah, we took care of the ball well, which we haven't done all year very consistently, and that showed in the Northwood game where they turned us over quite a bit. We were pretty lackadaisical with the ball. We didn't value it, but sharing the basketball, you know, it's human nature creeps in. You know, guys want to make plays. Guys are talented, so you know, sometimes they're motivated by, you know, wrong motivations. They want to help the team, but they try to do too much. You know, it's just staying in the framework, staying in the structure, sharing the basketball, moving around, being hard to guard. So when we're on task like that, it's just a lot of fun.
As we go to Saturday's game at Northwood, always a tough place to play on the road in the GLIAC.
Yeah, we've had some great games there. You know, right back to when I was the assistant coach and you know, as a head coach. So we've been fortunate to come away with a few victories, but this particular game we did not. And I think the credit just goes to Northwood for making big plays. They made some big plays, and you know, from my standpoint, I think we had the same opportunity to make those plays, and we didn't. The one thing that doesn't stand out, okay, to, you know, just the common fan or you know, to even a basketball, you know, coach maybe that doesn't know our full system. And when you break this film down, we spent too much time out of our system and game plan. It was very discouraging. It was hard to overcome mentally for the coaches early, and then for the players. And I did think we were able to reel it back in and, you know, get ourselves in position to maybe make a play. I mean, for example, right there, you leave a shooter to go to a non-shooter. That would never be the game plan. There was a lot of plays, too many plays in this game where we were not focused.
Obviously, a 4-point difference here at halftime, back and forth in the second half. How does it change playing a team for the second time this year, and obviously a team that you've seen throughout the year on film?
Well, it didn't really change a whole lot, other than they made more plays at home than they did at our place, and I just thought they attacked well. In a lot of ways, they beat us at our own game, but I'm not surprised. I knew that was a possibility. It is a possibility every time you go onto the court. Just disappointed that ultimately that I couldn't get our guys focused. They were confused in some scenarios, and I didn't teach it well enough, or didn't dial them in, or push the right buttons. So, still pretty disappointed about that. You got to move on. That's what they tell you. You got to move on, but it's hard because you'd like to. If you're going to lose a game, you'd like to lose it when you feel like you put your best foot forward. That's not taking anything away from Northwood, man. They're talented. They're going to be a problem for a lot of years because they're playing a lot of young guys, and they're aggressive, and they're making shots.
This week, back at home, as you begin a 4-game homestand, and obviously another tough opponent coming in on Thursday night against the Ashland Eagles.
Yep, Ashland, is on top of the league right now. They beat us by 3 at their place. We've had some classic battles. It seems like we meet every year in the playoffs, and then we've had some overtime. So, that's going to be a great game. We started the preparation for them. They look impressive. My hope is that we put together a solid game plan, which I know we will because we put the time in, and then we just stick to that game plan as much as we can for 40 minutes and see what happens.
Should be a great atmosphere. ESPN3 National Division II Game of the Week. What does that mean, playing on national TV, and obviously the first ever national TV broadcast from Wink Arena?
That's good. That's good. First of many. Keep bringing the TV games into the GLIAC and the other conferences in the Nation Division II. I just have such a healthy respect for the Division II basketball and the brand that we have, and I think more games should be on TV. I've said that to you a lot. I've said that to other people. So excited about the TV game, but we want to play well on TV. So we got work to do. We have to practice well. Having a Super Bowl and watching those post-game interviews and all those guys from the Patriots talking about how a great week of practice really leads to confidence and to a great game. And I was so impressed with just how basic they kept things. And hope some of our guys didn't turn the TV off after the game and saw that, and other players out there, young players, because we need a great week of practice. And I'm fired up to work hard.
Obviously, following Thursday's game on Saturday, hosting Wayne State, and another tough opponent that's certainly battling for position in terms of the GLIAC.
Yeah, everybody's battling for position. What a cluster. There's a couple teams that are sneaking away maybe, but we're not going to forget what happened at Wayne State. They just beat us up. We couldn't stop them. Luckily, we were giving good effort, just not focused effort, and again, defensively, we were terrible in that game, and they just took one from us, and they were pretty happy about it, celebrating. So we'd like to take one back if we can. If they're better than us that day, then we won't. So this is a home stretch here. So the coaches got to put together great game plans. We got to be better, and we got to make sure our guys are laser focused.
Well, Coach, thanks for being with us today. Best of luck to the Bulldogs Thursday night at home against Ashland and Saturday afternoon against Wayne State.
We'll take the luck all day.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.